Perfect.
All right, perfect, great, there you go. You know, this blown-in insulation stuff always makes me itchy though, man, just even being around it.
So, Izzy, that's a recycled newspaper and magazine product. It's not fiberglass. You shouldn't itch at all.
Like I said, I'm fine. I'm
I'm gonna
okay.
cut myself a stud. Cut myself a stud.
Does someone want to tell him?
Oh, okay, yeah, well, maybe you're right. I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, Lonnie, why don't we work smarter? not
Lonnie and
harder?
sauce. Oh yeah. Oh,
Hey, there we go. That's what I like.
oh, nice.
See that finish?
Great, but they're trying to take the credit. We built this. They could be finishing touches, but look at all the work we did before that.
Hey,
We did.
But you actually did a pretty good job. Hey, thank you, girl, for doing that.
break.
We're
Yeah,
gonna finish
break,
up.
break.
Oh, coffee break. Yeah. Oh, coffee break. Coffee break. Hey guys, before we get started, which power tool sound do you guys like the best?
Well, mine doesn't make much noise because it doesn't have a power cord.
Runs off batteries.
Yeah.
oh, I never thought of that.
This is a sound.
Okay.
Weak. That's weak.
Oh, that.
Oh.
I think Elizabeth and I got jaw beat.
Oh, that's smooth. Nice. Oh, we agree. Okay, we better quit fooling around. We got to get the show started. Lonnie, would you open up?
Sure. Hey, welcome to Between the Studs. My name's Lonnie Norris. This is part of the Granite Ridge Builders team, including Tony Ranke, our president. Thank you for joining us today at our showroom, 15,000 square feet. We're full of all kinds of things that make up today's custom home, and I think today we're going to talk about some of those things.
This is really going to be special. First of all, we would like to thank you all for tuning in. We think this is going to be one of our better shows for you all. We just got done updating our 15,000 square foot showroom. So what we'd like to do is combine the What's That episode, meaning many people have said, well, what's that for? They've asked Kaylin Decorating, what's that? So we're going to combine the newly finished areas with the What's That. So let's start by, for instance, everybody keeps asking Luke and I, which one and what's that used for?
Yeah, so these are your eye joists, and this is what Granite Ridge puts in the houses. And you can see it's called an eye because of the side profile here. Traditionally, or back in the olden days, they used to use dimensional lumber. Well, a couple advantages of using the eye joist is it can actually span a further distance, so we have less support posts down in that basement, allowing for a more open feel. And then it's got a much larger web up top here, so it allows for a more gluing surface and nailing surface, so you end up with less floor squeaks. Huge advantage.
Yeah, and this is a really, really big advantage of coming into our fully built half a house by these two girls. But we can explain these to you and show you which one would be better for your application. And Izzy, I think you've got another really good example up there.
Another one that we see on the top of almost all of our houses here, some form of this. What is this thing on top?
Yeah, so one of the things that we put at least one on every one of our houses is this saddle here that goes over the top of the ridge of the roof, and we leave it permanently installed so that way anybody that has to get up on that roof has a place to tie down safely. So we take into some safety concerns when we build our houses too.
Okay, so this is some really, really fun examples. If you guys will stay tuned, we are going to try to rapid fire probably 30 or 40 of these examples. Every one of you have your favorites, so let's go take off, pick your favorite ones, and finish up that area when you can. All right, let's go.
You need new batteries.
I'm going for it. I thought that was a boomerang.
There.
I think that looks pretty good.
I think it looks great.
Granite
Looks
Ridge
great,
University.
You know, speaking of what's that, a lot of people have called and said, what is that stuff I see on my roof? It's real bright red.
Yeah,
It's this stuff.
And that's what this is here. It's our roofing underlayment before the shingles go on. And building a good quality home, moisture management is key, and this is part of those layers. Now, again, I mentioned it's the roofing underlayment. What you have in your hand here is what probably most people are used to seeing. If the
old
shingle
black
blows
stuff?
off, yep, black stuff. So this is the roofing felt or roofing underlayment.
And I noticed this stuff's real easy to tear, but this stuff, man.
Yeah, you
good
can't tear
luck.
this stuff. You have to actually get scissors out or a knife and cut that, whereas that just tears easily through the hand. So it's kind of the evolution of the next phase of roofing underlayment.
And we'll get rid of this stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
And this has products that are similar to a house wrap. So this is going to keep moisture from being driven down in the form of rain. Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's going to keep moisture in vapor form, so gas form, from passing through it as well.
Text the OSB, you staple it down.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And you staple it or nail it down. And this is basically a cousin of our house wrap.
Oh, speaking of house wrap, I have some right here. We've been using this now for a few years, and this goes over the exterior wall. Again, the OSB.
Yep. Again, moisture is, not a friend to wood, and you got the OSB, so this is another protective layer that goes behind the siding. If you've ever noticed when you look at siding very closely, if you look up underneath it, there's tiny little pinholes in there.
Yes.
That's because the siding manufacturers know that water will get driven behind there, and it's important to have a protective layer between the OSB and the siding, protecting your outer shell.
Again, very durable, easy to apply,
Yep.
very important to that OSB.
Water's going to shed off this way, but vapor from the inside of the house is going to pass safely through it this direction.
Also going to protect the house from wind infiltration to
Yep.
some extent.
Yep.
Important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. I do notice, Luke, that behind bricks or stone is a different kind of underlayment.
Yeah,
or
so
wrap.
this is a tar paper, and we talked about that moisture management. So I think most people's misconception is that brick is actually installed directly against the OSB. Not true. We put the tar paper in there, which is essentially paper just soaked in tar, again, permeable to moisture, and then there's about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch gap between the
I
brick.
see that.
So
Okay.
again, we know
Okay.
brick is going to retain moisture. So we want to have a area where that moisture can fall, and then it comes out at this
Yeah, what is
wick.
that?
Yeah,
What is
so
that?
it's a rope or a wick, and that moisture runs down to this wick, and then it gives a spot for that moisture to exactly wick out. Couple key things here. Don't cut it off, don't pull it out, and don't raise your mulch above it, because then it will actually wick back
in.
into
Ooh.
the brick. So,
Okay, makes
You
sense.
guys did
Hi.
such a great job
did.
laying the brick,
We
but you
did.
got mortar all over the window.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's got this protective film. I can pull it right off.
These Anderson windows are great. Do you know that we have 7 color selections to choose from, which is great. You have to come into our showroom and see what's available.
So what you're telling me, Elizabeth, is we have all kinds of options and even cutaways of Anderson windows and others that we can show our clients. They need to come into our showroom and check things out.
A little bit more right there,
All
JR,
right.
and it should be ready to be installed.
All right, I think we're good to go, buddy.
So, JR, do you know what we have here?
Yeah, we've got some type of a relief line there so we can let water escape from some areas we don't want to store it in there, right?
Yeah, let's start with the PVC pipe,
Okay.
the white pipe here. So this is what's called our sewer cleanout. So where you have your hand there to the right, JR, that's the interior of this cleanout. So that would be what's underneath a slab or in a basement, and all of the plumbing comes to that point. And then the footer would be right in here, so this gets casted through the footer, and then this would be on the exterior. So this is what's called a clean out, because it gives them an access point on the exterior to be able to possibly snake out any drainage.
That's pretty standard, right, Luke? But we do
Yep.
something a little different with ours, which is this perforated tile here, correct?
Exactly. So I talked earlier about moisture management. So this is a relief valve. So this is the lowest point in all of the interior trenches. Water is going to take the least path of resistance. So we put this relief valve, which again goes through the footer, and any water that would ever penetrate the inside of that slab will have a place to get relieved and to the outside and eventually dry up, not causing any damage to the interior of that house.
And Luke, this is pretty easy for us to do initially, but let's say we didn't do this and we had a problem with water backing up. What kind of issues do we run into then?
Yeah, so basically then you have to core drill through that footer, you have to get a diamond blade bit, a lot of labor intensive work, not very easy.
And pretty expensive too.
Yes, yep. Now we got a bunch of other displays here
Yeah.
at the showroom that I think people would be interested, like for example, this is a wellhead here. Typically, this is about grade level. This is what's sticking up outside of the house. So again, that's a well, but I have another one that's one of my favorites. That's a Granite Ridge difference. Do you know what this is?
Looks like we had a clean out there, correct?
It's similar to a clean out. So this would be attached to your sump pump inside when you have a basement application. So the water that gets around that foundation gets pumped out and pumped to this point. Now we're on the exterior.
Yep.
Other builders, they'll actually just straight pipe it in. So there's not this extra piece here. Well, there's the potential for that line that gets, buried to the exterior for roots to block it up or ice or anything, maybe critters blocking it up. Well, we put this in so if it does have that block, it doesn't continually cycle through. You can pull this off, allowing again for that water to run across the grade until you can fix the drainage down the line.
Absolutely.
That's a huge advantage. It could potentially save thousands of dollars worth of flooding in a basement.
And Luke, these are just 3 examples that we've got here in our showroom that are available for people to come see whenever they want. 1020 Woodland Plaza Run. Come see us. We can explain any of these items to you.
I think that looks pretty good, Tony. Display's coming along well.
Thank you. We are getting the display put up here. I'm just getting all the final stickers put on here. This is one big thing when it comes to our displays out here at Granite Ridge Builders is like we can show you what a 12-inch overhang looks like. We can show you what the fascia is going to be like on the profile here, and also the 5-inch seamless gutters that we're going to be doing on the houses, except for when it calls for a 6-inch seamless gutter.
Yeah, so the bigger the pitch on the house and the roof system, we're going to want to make sure we go with those bigger gutters to make sure it can take care of that water.
When we're going into those 10, 12, 12, 12 roof slopes, you really want to get into just a little bit of a bigger gutter system going through there.
This display here, what's that? This is showing the difference of the way we do our gutters.
The way we hang our gutters themselves, because we actually do a hidden system here when it comes to the gutters. A lot of people will actually be doing more of a spike and furl system, and we can show that as well, where you have the spike. It's actually going to be coming outside of the gutter itself, and that's where you end up getting a lot of rust issues through there. And we just like to be able to show you everything that's going to be going on with your new home.
My favorite display right now, this is a great what's that point. This is showing the different types of gutter guards that we can do for you here, especially if you're moving into a neighborhood that's got lots of trees established or a country build. This is a great thing to look into to make sure that we can get the right gutter guard system for you so you don't spend lots of time cleaning those gutters in the spring and fall.
Another great thing about all the displays we're doing out here in our new area is we're even showing you the splash guards. A lot of people talk about splash guards and how they're being used in their homes and underneath the downspouts themselves. A lot of people like to have it set up this way, where the water is actually going to be running away from the house like that. The bad part about that is it can actually wash away all your grass seed or your new mulch and everything. So you actually want to have it set up the other way, so the water actually just splashes over the sides. And on the new display here, we can show you all of that.
Well, we've got an awful lot to show you here in our showroom. Make sure you stop out here if you haven't seen it for yourself. We've got a newly renovated, newly updated, lots of great new displays to show you what's that.
Okay, Lonnie, did you get the new display done in that attic area?
I did, and we had to change our duct work.
Oh, I get it. All right, so what do you have up there?
I've got some insulated duct work here in the attic to display to show people how well we do in taping it, sealing it off, and also the style that we use.
Okay, now there's two ways to get that HVAC or heating and air conditioning to a room. How do we do it?
We do it under the slab,
Okay.
and then we also do it in the attic. And when it's in the attic, it needs to be insulated properly, actually in both places properly.
Okay, so is that what this is right here?
Right, this fuzzy stuff is actually an insulation that has gotten larger because we're trying to insulate those in a much better way these days.
Okay, so why is that important to have that, and then what's this?
We have discovered that through your ducts there can be leakage and also a lot of loss, and so we are using better insulation and also very good duct type tape to seal these things off.
Okay, now I heard you're also making the subcontractors do something different.
We actually are using a third party to check every house we build because we want to see what good a job they did in preparing and installing the ductwork.
Okay, so in every house, we can have a test done that it will tell you if there is any duct leakage and how much. So please, come on into our showroom and we are more than happy to show you these brand new, up-to-date displays.
You're right, Tony. At Granite Ridge Builders, we have our ducks in a row.
Oh, Lonnie, that's terrible. That was pretty good, actually. I like that. Okay, Lonnie, I think I've got this recessed can in there. Is that straight?
It is straight, but I think we might have a problem.
Like what?
Well, as the brick goes up, I think we might bury that can.
Okay, so here's what you're saying. If brick is hanging out about 4 or 5 inches, it's going to get in here and potentially
It could.
actually cover that. What happens is you now can only get what we call a small puck light up there, not giving people what they thought. So you have a solution, I heard.
Right. We can extend the overhangs to 16 inches, for example, put a bigger can in and eliminate the problem.
Okay, now that's an awesome idea. That's one reason you've got to come out here and see these displays. We're going to help you with a whole bunch of those potential problems.
All right, Kayla, I think I just finished up your new exterior door display. It's looking good.
Thank you very much. Our typical 6-foot slider, what people might not realize is you lose a little bit of space. They really think that they'd get a 3-foot opening, but with a slider, it's really about 2.5 foot. So that's why the popular taller and wider doors, 8-foot, 12-foot sliders are becoming really popular and great for moving furniture in and out.
I'm glad that we finally got this one done because now we can get rid of that ugly 2x4 that we've been using over there.
Yeah, I guess they used to use these to lock the doors. You know, what's that? The foot lock is a much better option if you're worried about security.
All right, I'm done, right? I don't have to do anything else in this door?
That's why you have the paint can. We really need to finish this up, and I need it in about an hour before all the clients come, please. Thanks, appreciate it.
I'll go find Luke.
Here's a great what's that. This is a threshold. And at Granite Ridge, our thresholds actually have a thermal break here that keeps the cold and warm air on the right side of the door, helps it so that they don't pass back and forth there, making our houses more energy efficient.
Another thing we like to talk about with thresholds is maybe a minimal threshold or zero threshold. That's to help you if you don't want to have something large to step over in the front of your house or even a shower. Now, Izzy, do you know where the word threshold came from? I think I heard you might know that.
Yes, there's quite often two stories that we'll talk about associated with a threshold. First being a thatched roof. That is a straw roof. They didn't have the roofs that we have today. So what you would do is the house would get warm, and then during the winter months, you might actually have pets climbing on top to stay warm there to get the warmth from the inside of the house. Of course, if it started to rain really bad, those pets might fall through and it might rain cats and dogs.
Oh, that's where that came from. Okay, that
so
makes sense.
That same straw, we would also use that thatch down on the floor inside the house as a primitive flooring, along with the dirt to kind of make something to stand on. And of course, you might take your pets inside during inclement weather as well. So with that, when pets and people would pass in and out of the house, you might have the thresh pass outside. And so we came up with a threshold to keep the thresh inside. So then it became our modern thresholds.
All right, so they would just use this at first, but then we definitely have upgraded since then, I would say.
Quite a bit.
So besides the pets that were on the inside of the house, they would keep other animals as well. And when they would do that, they would use what they call the Dutch door or the half door that you're used to seeing. And those are actually making a comeback now, believe it or not. So we're doing a lot of those instead of baby gates to block off an area. You might consider a Dutch door again that even pockets into a wall that you don't even know is there. They're really something to consider in your next home.
And as we take people through a tour on their showroom, this is definitely one of the things that grabs people's attention. It's got me excited. I know it's got you excited. Tell me, what's that?
This is our brand new Therma-Tru door display. We're one of the only ones to have it in this area. And what's great about it is it takes the guesswork out of what kind of door you're going to get, especially when it comes to glass. So a lot of people wonder what that's going to look like in their display. And so we have this wonderful area that we can show people all the different glass styles. If you pick one here, you know, I first ask people, what color caming? So this leaded part in the stained glass design, what do you want for that kind of color? And a lot of people look at me a little bit confused, but what's great about this is you can actually change that so you really have an idea of what that's going to look like in the end. And each one of these has a picture and a plant, so if you want to know how clear or obscure that glass is, you can see that in every one of these, and it just takes the guesswork out and you know exactly what you're going to get in the end.
Again, we renovated our showroom here again this spring, and we'd love for you to make your trip to Granite Ridge. Come on in here, see us, let us give you a tour, show you exactly all that Granite Ridge has to offer for you.
Now I think I'm going to pick this door over here.
One of the hottest trends is the freestanding soaking tub. A lot of people are putting this into their bathroom or into their home as a focal point. So we've done the same thing at our new bathroom display. We have put this freestanding soaking tub right here as a focal point.
Yep, and I just finished installing it. And what a lot of people don't realize is how much planning actually needs to go in with this, because it is freestanding, but it has to fit perfectly centered in a space. So getting those plumbing pipes in exactly the location is very key.
And the tub itself is about $2,600, and then your faucet, depending on what you choose, could be $1,500 or $1,600.
Yeah.
Now with this tub, we did something special with the flooring too. Like I said, it's a focal point, so we did some special pebble rock around the tub.
You kind of outlined the bottom of the tub just to make your eyes draw to it even more. Like she said, it's becoming a hot trend. You guys got to come out and check this out in our showroom.
Kayla, I'm looking around this room here, and is that leather on the walls around here?
Not quite. It's actually imitation of leather by wallpaper.
Oh, fascinating.
Wallpaper's coming back, I'm telling you.
You know, there's so many different things that are going on with the houses. I know you were just talking about exterior doors here. We're actually in the interior door section because there's an average of like 18 doors in every single new house.
It's a pretty big component of your house, and what's great about our brand new door display is that you can see a door panel with trim and hardware and hinges all together, so it takes the guesswork out of what you're going to get in your new home.
You know, it's one of the special things about building a custom home and coming out here and taking a look at the new Granite Ridge showrooms that's completely remodeled is you get to see different little things you get to pick out, including hinges.
Hinges are one of them. We have all sorts of popular colors. Now, what we do at Granite Ridge is the hinges will typically always match your door handle. So we have knobs and handles on all of these doors here, so you can really touch and feel and see which one is the best for your look of door and your comfort and style.
Now, when we're talking about the interior doors, most of them are going to be the same door, which have a lot of different styles. Can you name me a few of those different styles?
Oh, we have the 2-panel beadboard. That Santa Fe is great. An arch top door. 2-panel is really what's big. And we even have a great 5-panel, 3-panel Craftsman right here. And don't forget to play around with the color. Do something fun like you see here.
You know, that's one thing that we really are seeing a lot of, and we have a lot of different displays here within the showroom itself of different kind of like signature doors, kind of like with a pantry door with maybe some etched glass going through it.
Definitely, you have the pantry door, you have some wood grill styles. There's everything you could imagine right here for you to come out and take a look. Now let's go through. These actually operate too, so let's go take a look. We got that door and that door. I think there's like 13 of them in here. Granite Ridge Builders, we have recently decided to upgrade all of our toilets in every one of our new homes. And we have them here on display for you to see. So we have everything that you could want that's popular. We have the standard ones here, dual flush, which is becoming really popular to talk about, especially when it comes to water saving and energy. We have the elongated and elongated comfort high, all with different seat options, all for you to see here at the Granite Ridge showroom.
Sometimes it's really about the little things that mean the most. Granite Ridge has a lot of standard products that are actually going above and beyond. Usually when you have a dryer vent, that dryer vent's going to stick out from the wall about 2 to 3 inches. When that happens, your washer and dryer are never really going to be on the same level. With a recessed dryer vent and having your dryer vent inside the wall, now your washer and dryer are going to be on the same field like what you have here. Now, part of this recessed dryer vent is you have your vent and it's just a little bit more oval. Those dryer vents are just like paper. You just push it together, it changes the shape, goes right over there, and you won't have any problems with your washer and dryer.
Okay, Lonnie, I've got mine done. Are you done?
Looks
Hinges?
pretty good.
All right. You know what? This is the 7th door that we've put in this
Right.
room alone, and they're all different.
You're right, and even these two don't match very well.
Okay, so what do we have here?
Actually, we have a pine door and we have a poplar door.
Okay, and the reason we put those side by side is there is a definite different feel that we'd like everybody to come out to this new display and feel. Example, the difference is on a poplar door, it's a full inch panel, and the pine door is a 1/2 inch, thereby making a big weight difference, also a little bit more solid.
Yeah, this door's a lot more heavier, I noticed.
It
Very
is, and
pretty.
cost-wise, you're about $100 difference. This one is a pine door, $210, and the poplar is $310. Stains up a little different, but it's a great way for you to see what these are side by side.
You know, in the old days, my days, we used to call these 6-panel doors, but I understand there's actually a different name for them, or
There
another
is.
name.
Lonnie, you know I'm into history. Back in the colonial days, this was called a cross, see it?
Okay.
And a Bible door. They called that a Christian door. Now, what was really fascinating in the old days, this was on the interior. On the exterior of a home, you'd always see the same panel, the 6th panel up here.
Okay.
And that would end up being the cross, but at the bottom you'd have an X. And they'd put that at the front door. They called that a witch door. And what that meant, they were very religious but very superstitious. That would keep all the evil spirits out, but then also say that they were Christians. Interesting fact.
So many things to see here at Granite Ridge Builders at our studio to answer the question, what is that?
Luke, the new fireplace looks great. Are you finished?
Yep, I just installed the screen. Now, this is something people don't know with the direct vents. 2 years ago, they passed a code that we have to put this screen on, so that way nobody, no kids or any pets or people can touch that glass, which would be hot after the flame's been on for a little while.
That is a great idea and a great safety feature. Now, you mentioned this is a direct vent. So this vents directly to the outside. It's gassed. You just flip your switch and it vents outside. But I know we have 8 fireplaces here, and we have a few other examples in our showroom.
Right, we have a vent free, which has no vent, but burns efficient enough that doesn't require the vent. And then we have electric, and then we have the traditional wood burner.
And with those fireplaces, you can do some beautiful surrounds. So here we have a manufactured stone, which they come in a lot of colors, shapes, but I love this one. It just came in 10 minutes ago, this brick display or sample.
Yeah, and you could also do maybe ceramic around it. And then you can do different hearth heights here too. So you can see this one's about 12 inches. You can raise that up depending on the room.
Finishing touch. I love the barn beam on this particular fireplace, but really you can get creative with your mantle.
Again, we have 8 different fireplaces here, different applications, some wall mounts like this, some in a corner, different surrounds, different heights, different mantles. Really everything.
Please come visit our new updated showroom. We would love to show you around and incorporate these ideas into your next new home.
JR, you got all my guests lined up on that screen for me?
No, I just typed in the last one. All the names are ready for you today.
They enjoy looking at their name when they come through that front door.
I agree.
Hey, Ez, I see you got them M&Ms.
Where do you want them?
Put them right here.
All right.
Yes.
Coffee cups.
Cups on the end over there.
Got it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I think we got it.
Okay, do you have all my new pictures up there? Okay, because you know our guests love looking at those great photos of our homes.
I want to take a second to introduce Daryl. She's not a normal on our show, but every time you come in through our Granite Ridge showroom front door, you're greeted by her friendly, warm smile. She's here to make you feel welcome.
She is really, really awesome. Hey, JR, would you want to close for us?
Absolutely. As always, guys, we want to thank you for spending part of your day with us. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about who we are, what we do, and why we do what we do so well, please just pick up the phone, give us a call, visit the website below. Even better yet, come in the front door, let Daryl greet you. We'd love to show you any of these new items you can put into your new home.
You all are so welcome to come in, check out our newly remodeled 15,000 square feet of showroom. Come in, have a cup of coffee, a cookie, some M&Ms, walk around, see what we have that's new for you to put into your new dream home.
You guys agree? She is absolutely the best of the best.
I agree.
You are awesome. Okay, what else do we have to get done before
Hey,
we open it?
Is it clean?
well, gotta clean up your mess. You know, we gotta do that. A little bit more candy for you, Izzy.
Oh, house wrap.
Get your,
Oh, I'm sorry.
get your red roux.
I thought that was the key.
Cost difference is different, is a little bit different, and it's different because it's different than different was.
I think what
so
we
let's
oughta-
just kind of different.
I'm not I'm not indifferent. I'm not indifferent to that.
Oh, wait.
He actually took it out. Whoa.
This is why you want to get professionals to
We're
do
dangerous.
this.
We're dangerous.
All right, Kayla, I think I did a good job.
Did you see Notre Dame one?
Really? For like the 10th time here,
Right?
messing with my flow.
These are some beautiful black painted cabinets, but I know we sometimes will paint cabinets, sometimes we stain cabinets.
Start over again.
We don't paint. We paint.
We pay to paint.
We
yes.
paint.
Yeah. How do we pay this?
A lot of things to consider when you're picking out. Oh, brother, picking out.
Well, one of the big decisions in your next new home is your countertop selection.
It is. So we typically.
Also with cabinets, we don't think about it, but we have things like medicine cabinets, filing cabinets,
Linen cabinets, lots of different kinds of
lots of different kinds of cabinets.
entertainment cabinet crap. Sorry. And you know, the great thing too with this granite, a lot of people have the assumption, you know, that's okay. I didn't like what I was saying. I want to start over anyways.
Perfect.
Yep.
Forgot about that part.
And if that's the case, 2 sinks might be good for you. But we also make you.
Yeah, it's true. Everything he says is true. That's all, folks.
And the Porky Pig comes out.